Hello YouTube. So wanted to do a review today on an FX air gun that I got this past fall, and wanted to let everybody know how it worked out so far and how it's doing. So the gun that we're going to be reviewing today is the FX Dreamline, but it's not your normal Dreamline. It is the bottle version of the Dreamline. So I got this again in the fall. You know, comes with the standard manual from FX. It comes with one clip as well, and then of course your filler probe needed for you to be able to fill the gun up. So let's take it out of the box and look at it a little bit closer here. Alright, so here's what it looks like out of the box. Again, this is the Dreamline Lite Bottle version. I originally had set up for the waiting period on Pyramid Air. You know, out of stock, expected date in, and they just kept moving the date. And I think it was about 4 months later, I called them and said, "Are you guys ever going to get this gun in stock?" And the guy's like, "Well, I don't know when we're going to send it or when we're going to get it." So I just canceled the order, and I got this one from TopAirGun. The guy was really easy to deal with, and you know, he had it in stock, and you know, showed up, and just ran into a little glitch to begin with because they shipped it directly from FX USA, and they sent me the wrong caliber. So this is in 177, and they sent me a 22. So rather than sending the whole gun back, they sent me back the barrels. A barrel, and so I was able to just switch that out, which is real easy, as you probably have already seen on YouTube. So it's a really slick system. So this particular model comes with the Donnie FL silencer or moderator. So that's a really nice moderator. It works really good, and I've had no complaints with it. My wife was pretty impressed with it. So again, it was a nice addition to the gun. So, and then of course you got your standard barrel that comes with it. You have your fill probe here, which you know, is your standard Foster fitting, so nothing really big on that. It did not come with the Hawk scope. I added that once I got it. The neat thing about it is it has this nice power lever, but the power lever, you know, it shows the 177/22, and then of course your 25/30, and then it has your low, and your low puts it below 12 foot-pounds, which was really nice. That was what I was looking for, because I do a lot of shooting in barns, and this gun would be way too strong or too powerful. I'd be shooting through tops of roofs and going through the sides of the barns. So and then of course you have your power selector, or your hammer adjustment, I should say, your external hammer adjustment. The one thing that I found out about the hammer adjustment was when this came to me, and I don't know if this is across the board, but this is not set up for you to go from min to max. You have to yourself, let's see if I can put that in there. You yourself have to put the actual screw that you can just see right there. You have to adjust that yourself, you know, on the side right here with the Allen wrench. So you just put your Allen wrench in there, and then you just turn it in, and then that would extend that screw, and then that would actually hit the cam unit that's on here for adjusting your power. So like right now I have it, and by the time I get below C, this hammer's done. It's not going to move anymore. It's completely it's no longer touching the cam, and it's only when I adjust it to go up that you see right there when I went to C that it slightly moved it out. So just an FYI that's the way that happens. You can get to the hammer. The spring itself. The spring is behind here. There's 3 screws that hold this together. There's one here, one on the back side, and then one that's below your pistol stock, or your grip right here. So you would pull the grip out, and then there's a screw that's right underneath here that you would just undo. Then this whole unit comes out, and you can get to the spring. Of course, it's a takedown stock, so you just unscrew this, and then this whole stock lifts up and pulls out. So really a very compact design. Of course, everybody knows about their triggers, which this is no different. Extremely nice, and you can set it up with no problem to what you like, whether you like it harder or lighter. But just a really nice match trigger. And then if we flip the gun around, of course on this side you have the regulator, which in this case I have the regulator set at 100. It came to me like around 135, which right out of the box this was going over 1,000 feet per second, which is really fast. So I of course wanted to slow that down because I wanted to go into barns. So I reduced it down to 100, and that was still coming out too fast for me. Even when I went to the low side of sub 12 foot-pounds, that was still bringing it around 750. So I actually cut my spring, took off like one coil, and now this is coming out at around 700 feet per second on the low setting. And when I put it on B setting, I'm at like 850 feet per second, which seems to be ideal for the JSB 8.44s that I shoot. And I'll do some target shooting with that so you can see what kind of groups I get with that. And then of course here is the main pressure valve. So you can fill it to 230 per the manual, and then you just work your way down. After I made my my spring adjustments on my B setting at 850 feet per second, I will get around 150 shots with no problem. If I put it on low, I have gotten 400 shots on a single outing, and that is quite impressive after you take it down to 100 psi, and it's just shot wonderfully. I'll put some links to some of my shoots that I've done in some of the barns, so you can check those out. But it's super accurate, and really happy with it. Of course, here's your pellet probe, as well as your clip goes in there. I got the standard clip that came with this, and then I also went out and bought a crown clip, which also fits with no problem. According to FX, all their clips will go into this with no issues. So, and then of course you have your safety, fire and safe. So it simulates the AR-15. Unfortunately, the safety itself is on the wrong side. On the ARs, it's on the other side, which makes more sense for your thumb, but it works. So I'm kind of happy about that, as well. So the gun itself is extremely light. Without the scope, it weighs 6 pounds with air. So if you're looking for a light gun, this one actually is lighter than what they advertise. I have the Brocock Sniper HR Bantam, or the Sniper Bantam HR, and that thing is a beast. I mean, that thing just weighs it's like 8 pounds just by itself. So I was really looking for something lighter so that I could carry it at night and not be worried about the weight. So really happy with 6 pounds. Again, you have the carbon fiber bottle. I have the other one for my FX 400, so I can take that one as well as I have a little guppy bottle that I can fill this up and top it off when I'm at a shoot. But I rarely have to do that because I get so many shots per fill. So let's go ahead and set up some targets. I'm going to start out at 30 yards, and I'll show you what this gun can do. All right, so here are the 5-shot 30-yard results for the 177 FX Dreamline Lite model. So up in the top left we have the JSBs, the 8.44s, and those shot really well. All these targets are within a dime at 30 yards. So that's a nice group. On the right I have QYS pellets from I think China, and again that's not too bad of a group either. And then down on the left I have the Air Arms Field Heavies. That's a nice tight group as well at 30 yards. And then finally the Barracuda Match at 30 yards. That's a 4-shot at the top. I used the one at the bottom to sight it in to figure out where I had to aim, because these are a little bit heavier, they fly out a little bit different. So then I just adjusted, and that's a nice 4-shot group at 30 yards. So all in all, pretty happy with those results for 30 yards in the 177. All right, so here are the results for 50 yards on the Dreamline. So up there in the top left corner is the JSB Exact 8.4s. Not quite covered by a quarter, but close. The QYSs are next to it, and those were easily covered by a quarter, 5-shot group. So happy with that. The Air Arms Field Heavies, that one was also just under the quarter. And then the Barracuda Match, for some reason they did not perform as well as they did at the 30 yard. So that's not gonna hold for a quarter. So unfortunately that one did not do as well as it looked like it was gonna do after the 30 yard targets. So all in all, still acceptable for 50 yards. For a 177, we got lucky because here in Ohio we finally had a nice sunny day with little wind. So can't even say that these results were affected by any wind. So 50-yard results. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up this review of the FX Dreamline Lite. One thing I did want to mention regarding the gun itself is that these are very nice grips. They are made by Hogue. For those of you that do pistol shooting, they're extremely comfortable grip, and that's really nice on a gun like this. So likes, high shot count, extremely light at 6 pounds, adjustable power, you can adjust the regulator, just very, very nice gun in general to shoot. Some things that you need to be aware of, when you put your cheek on this, I mean, it's basically just a board. So it's pretty difficult to get your eye to align with your scope. So you may run into some issues with that. You might have to get high scopes or high scope mounts. These are the FX fully adjustable ones. So those worked out pretty good, but I did have to fiddle around with it to finally get them to work right for me. So that's one issue you need to be aware of. The gun itself, what I am running into, which I don't understand why, but on low power, the gun is extremely accurate. I don't have any issues at all on low power. Again, if you go into some of the videos that I'll include in the in the description below, you can see how accurate the gun is inside the barn shooting low power, not a problem. But when I go on to high power, that's where I start running into issues, and I'm just not understanding why. I read the blogs out there, and other people have a 177 Wildcat or a 177 this, and they don't have any issues. They love it. And for whatever reason, I just can't seem to get that perfect barrel yet. I have 4 different clips, as you can see, and you would think that a clip is a clip, or a magazine is a magazine. You know, the Crown magazine's on the top left, and the other ones are all the new ones that they've gone to. So the one on the left, top left, that one holds 21 shots. The other ones hold 22 shots. So basically I've got 80 plus shots when I go out and shoot before I have to refill. But what I found out as I run into is that when I go on to high power, whether it's high, max, AB, or whatever, you know, this is where it shoots at 30 yards for magazine 1, which is the Crown one. And then this is where it shoots for magazine 2. And this is where it shoots for magazine 3. And then this is where it shoots for magazine 4. So I cannot seem to get a consistent spot where this thing will shoot on high power. And it's very frustrating because I don't really want to constantly only just fill 1 clip. I didn't buy 4 clips to be able to just use 1 or 2 of them. So that is a slight annoyance regarding it. To work on the gun itself is no problem. I'm still going to be playing around with the springs because I'm just still tweaking it, trying to get it exactly the way I want it. So otherwise, high shot count, light gun, easy to carry, easy to move, easy to maneuver. Just really worked out well this winter on all the farms that I was able to get into this year. So if you have any comments, just leave them down below and I will answer them the best I can. So hope you found this informative, and thanks again for watching.